Hi, it's your girl X Jazz, coming at you with another video. So this time I have some questions that a couple subscribers sent to my email. So I'm very excited that they trust me to give them some advice. Stay tuned if you're interested to hear their questions and to hear my ideas on what they should do. Girl Jazz. I'm back with another video. This time it's for some advice. I had a couple subscribers actually email me with a couple questions. So I have my laptop here and I have my glasses on. So I'm gonna read the questions out loud and I'm gonna see what is up. But yeah, most definitely I'm gonna keep them private. Hopefully you guys understand. But I'm going to see what the issue is, see if I can offer some advice. And also, down in the comments, please be sure to add your comments or any additional advice that you would like for them to have. Okay? Thank you. So, I'm going to read the first email. It is from, I'm going to call her Tammy. So, Tammy wants to know is there any advice for someone who is single in their 30s? She wants to know how can she get a man in this day and age with every other girl being so loose? How can I get a man? Okay, and she put parentheses around the word loose, so she means business, I guess. But let's see. Advice for someone that is single in their 30s and how can they get a man in this day and age with other girls being so loose? I'm not quite sure what you're referring to about other girls being so loose. I kind of got an idea of what you're referring to. Um, so I kind of get it. In this day and age, social media is very prevalent. Um, so not only social media but also dating websites. So it's not about actually going out, meeting someone, getting to know someone in person anymore. Now you can actually take a couple clicks, type a couple things in someone's inbox, and boom, you have a date. So it's not so much as a chase, I guess, per se, nowadays. So it is kind of easy, for girls and guys to date or to get someone or to have sex. Actually, all you it just takes a couple scroll of your fingers and you see something you like, especially on Instagram. But I think it depends. I really think it depends on the people that you surround yourself with, the type of guys that you're going after. I don't know what your particular type is. Maybe the type of guy that you're interested in isn't the type of guy that you should be, you know, going after. Um, I feel like there's somebody for everyone. Um, but it does take a little work. Being single these days is not easy. Um, and I would think that it will be different. I don't know if this person is a virgin or not, but especially if you're a virgin, I think it'll be a little hard, especially if you're looking for someone with those same values. So maybe if you are into church, maybe you can meet someone at church, which is kind of a catch-22 because you know how it is. People are people, and let's just say that. But also, I wouldn't suggest meeting people in a club either. Um, I think it's also how you play the game. Sometimes guys go off of how you act, and sometimes guys that don't want to put in a lot of work, they tend to weed themselves out a little early on than the guy that want to chase and want to get to know you. Sometimes the guy that wants to get to know you and wants to date you and is really a genuinely good guy is usually right there in front of you, but sometimes you're just too busy looking for someone else or looking for a flashing light of a sign that you don't really notice John Doe sitting next to you, whether it's at work or a place that you frequent, the guy that may offer you a free drink sometimes, or just have a little extra conversation with you from time to time. So sometimes you have to be a little open to certain things like that and pick up on some of the flirting signs. Some people don't flirt, you know, like what am I trying to say? They don't flirt all out. Like they're not like trying to use pickup lines or trying to get in your pants. Some guys are really trying to actually have a conversation and trying to get to know you. So I say stuff like that. So um yeah. So about the other girls being loose, I would say don't worry about other girls, especially if you're talking about social media, because it's not real. Um, Social media is not real. It's all smoke and mirrors. People post what they want you to see. Um, and then if you're speaking about dating websites or hooking up sites, that's just what it is. If you got a guy that you're meeting on that, like, are you looking at hookup or are you trying to like get to know someone and find a husband? So maybe you should go back to the drawing board and figure out exactly what you want before you try to step out into the scene and blindly at that. Yeah. So just start looking for something in particular. Find out what it is that you want in a guy that you're interested in, and just go back to the drawing board and figure out what it is you want before you step out into the dating scene. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Okay. So next question. We're gonna call her Virginia. How about that? Let's call her Virginia. Yeah, I like that. Okay. How do I bond with family members that seem to distance themselves? Hmm, that's a tough one. Um, I deal with that in my personal life as well. Sometimes it seems like if you're going the extra mile or you're the one that's sticking your foot out to communicate, and it's not being reciprocated, it can seem, uh, it can make you a little sad, you know. It can definitely make you sad. And what I realized is that sometimes people go through things and they don't particularly know how to verbalize it. So what some people tend to do is distance themselves. So that help that may seem like it helped them to get through whatever it is that they need to get through, but a lot of times what's happening is making them depressed. So sometimes it's okay to try to go the extra mile and reach out until you feel like you're doing too much or you've had enough or it's taking a toll on you. You're important as well. Family is important too, but you're important as well. So if you have a family member that don't seem to be returning your calls or returning your texts, I don't know if it's like a underlying issue, like did you guys have a falling out or anything like that. But if not, then I mean, if your family, if you're close like that, and they're not, you know, communicating, me personally, I would do a pop up. Yeah, I would do a pop up visit, and I would knock on your door, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? Doing a welfare check for real? Like, it's serious. Like, especially with, I mean, suicide rates have always been up, but now you're hearing about it more. Um, So if your family, I say it's okay to do a welfare check. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a welfare check, especially if they're not returning your calls. If you're concerned, if you think something may be wrong, you feel like that's what you need to do. I will, if they're close. Now, I would suggest like going across the United States or across the world and do a welfare check, because there's a possibility that they may not be home, they may be traveling. So if they're not close enough for you to drive to, I would suggest reaching out to someone else that may be close to them, like their parent or their sibling. Just checking to see if they spoke with them. Asking them, are they okay? When was the last time you spoke with them? And just go by that. Um, just sometimes people they think things differently from what they are. You may be trying to reach out and trying to communicate, but this person probably is feeling like um, they want to distance themselves because they don't want people to see them in a certain way. They don't want people to think certain things, or they just may not be happy with the way their life is going right now. So they think it's just best that they disappear for a while, or you never know, or they feel like, oh well, they may not be that close to you. They may not feel the same way that you feel about them. But family is family. I don't know if you have a big family or a small family. I have a small family, so when family members get like that, it definitely concerns me. Um, I'm definitely the one to call people to communicate and reach out, but sometimes you just don't get that in return. And I realize that that's okay. So, um, if that happens, sometimes if you reach the point where you feel like you're doing too much, or you are just burned out, or it's getting to the point where you're getting depressed or sad, um, I feel like it's okay to like bow out gracefully and return to your life and kind of let them live and get through whatever it is they need to get through. And you can love them from a distance. I learned that it's okay to love someone from a distance. Um, you don't necessarily have to be around your family all the time. They may not want that type of attention, especially since if you're adults now. I don't know your age, but if you're an adult, sometimes people grow up and they grow apart. That's just what happens. That's the sad truth, honestly. You may have been really close when you were young, but sometimes people grow up and grow apart. Um, People, get married, have kids, they're working, they're going to school, so your life change, and you just don't have the time that you used to have or the money that you used to have, and your life is totally different. So those can be other factors into why you don't see other family members as much. But if those aren't factors, and like I said before, you're genuinely concerned, and if they're known to have like a problem, like a drug problem or suicidal problems, anything like that, I feel like it's okay to do a welfare check. Um, you know, you just may save a life, especially with, you know, overdoses, so rampant, especially with prescription drug abuse. Um, it's very real. It's not just celebrities and TV. It's real, especially in the state that I live in. I'm pretty sure across the United States it's very prevalent, but I can speak for the state that I live in, is very prevalent and is very serious. You know, prescription painkiller abuse is very high. The rate is very high. Overdose is very high. Um, Opioid abuse is very high. So yeah, if it's that serious. So all right, so that's all I have for today. If you guys would like to, be sure to subscribe and leave some comments down below on these two different questions. Anything that I didn't cover, if you have anything that you'd like to add on, please add it in the comment section below. Let Virginia and forgot the other person's name. We're gonna make up another name, Leslie. Let them know what you think they should do. But those are both great questions, and I appreciate them for sending them. So please subscribe, and also if you have any questions, need any help with anything, email me at axjazz87@gmail.com.